All right. Well, this is I guess this is the basic go live. I was trying to go live the other day from my cell phone. I was like, no, it's not. You don't have it like that. um, I wonder if I should go uh, live on Facebook as well. Anywho, I don't know if the one that's counting, I guess that was a person that popped in. But anywho, I'm just kind of doing some Q&As. Folks can put something in the chat. Um, let's see. All right. I suppose even though there's not a person in here, I'll go over kind of some of the things that I've been wanting to share. What's this? So, what was it? Last weekend? Okay. So, last weekend, what did I do? I went to Bruin Day at UCLA. All right. Um, and that's where all the professors are there. I am the lead mechanical and aerospace engineering counselor, right? So I have to, kind of answer some of the questions parents might have. Students are very much looking through um, they're looking through what decisions to make coming up, right? Um, and so I think a good resource are the alumni there, because the alumni have the experience of what what is the real experience like. Yeah. And so got what came to mind, or what was shared with me, I should say, by students is that, okay, some students got into UCLA and UC Berkeley, right? And they were saying there was an in-person event and online event on the Sunday. Um, and some of them were saying, at least with computer science, that the major is being capped at UC Berkeley, right? Um, and I was like, well, what does that exactly mean? So I went snooping around, looking around, and I went to find this high demand major document. I'm pretty sure I can't share my screen on this. This is kind of this is the basic version. So I didn't do, there is a way to do the streaming version, um, where I can do overlays and I can, pop things up and stuff like that, which I think I'm going to try at some point. I wonder if I can, let's see, I'm going to go to Facebook. Um, I mean, at some point, I'm going to have to figure all this stuff out, right? Let me close that up. Come on. Thank you. All right. So what happened to, I probably should close all the extra stuff. Jeez, what do I have open? College transfer acceptance rates. Which schools accept the most students? good old Howard Payne University, which is actually what I'm wearing. The Yellow Jackets. Let's see, I am going to go over there. Let me close all this stuff up. International. I was looking at the kind of the videos that I've gotten the most views on. And I started out focusing on community college, right? Actually, before I get more into this, I'm going to open up Facebook Live, because then I think people, like on YouTube, people may not, like, what's going on over there, even though it says college Q&A. Okay. Maybe people don't have questions. I mean, it is evening time on a Saturday. Let's see. No, just go. Let's see what happens. I wonder if it keeps up. Is that just straight up done? Show a link during your live video. Post on timeline. How are you going live now? Public stream setup. Yep. Now. Yes, post on timeline. Oh, post. Yeah, post on timeline. All right. Come on. Webcam, streaming software. Oh wait, I can only do. I don't think I can have the webcam in two places at once. Is that? Maybe I can call my phone. Maybe that's why people do that. All right. Well, I guess I'm figuring some things out. Camera, Facebook. Even if, folks stop by, I'm probably going to stay in here for like 20 minutes. There was a person, a person that came in. Start stream share. Yeah, let me go ahead and go change over to college admission, careers and lifestyles, switch. All right, let me close that up. Expand again. Okay, I'm just closing that up all the way. All right, now I'm in there. Live video. Oof. Rotate. All right, so where's my? I have a way to like, but then I invite guests to your broadcast. You can have up to 3 guests at a time. Oh wait. To add a description, college Q&A. Now we're gonna see who's being nosy out there. So yeah, okay, go ahead and make that smaller. Somebody's gonna be nosy and be like, "What's going on over there?" And just try to. Let's see. I wonder if it tells you. Welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy and abide by our community guidelines. folks scrolling. But anyway, I didn't really finish my little bit that I was sharing. Um, so I was at Bruin Day. Students were like, computer science. What is going on with computer science at UCLA? What if I think I want to change my major to like computational math or something like this? Uh, Now, changing your major out of engineering is one thing. Um, I mean, they have, letters and science kinds of majors have their own requirements. Engineering, I would say, has, I mean, unless you're going into like architecture or something, engineering has you know, the hardest requirements or the most restricted ones. Let's see, what is this? Boom. Oof. Wow. No, I do not want to apply that. All right. I messed around and pushed some of the sticker buttons. Anywho. You know what? I'm going to go through that form that I saw actually. I'm going to go here to the frequently asked questions. I guess I'm going to learn exactly about it with you. All right. Can I close that? Nope. Oh no. I don't know if I hope sound was coming out of that. Yeah, so I realized the last application I was using, um, my Yeti Blue microphone wasn't actually working. Now, you know what? Actually, I saw the little sound bite at the bottom moving, so I know it was working. But I'm not messing with that thing right now. Sometimes it just goes, nope, I don't feel like working. All right, admission into letters and science at UC Berkeley. So those who already know as high school students that they want a high demand major should select that major on their UC Berkeley admissions application. Cool. If admitted to Berkeley Letters and Science, they will be guaranteed a spot in the major they selected, subject to completing the prerequisites, maintaining good academic standing in letters and science, and filing a declaration form. So, subject to completing. So, I'm pretty sure Letters and Science, the Letters and Science College um, at UC Berkeley, admits you as undeclared, and then once you finish those prerequisites, like you go, you finish your first year, you finish your um, let's see, after finishing your first year, you might say, okay, I'm just going to use computer science at UCLA, being that I kind of know it, what requisites are needed. I'm actually going to pull that up. Come on, curricular, where are the curricular requirements? All right, let's do computer science. Let's do the, I don't know, change of major. Change major. Prep courses. All right. Um, all right. So I have a list of prep courses. Matter of fact, can I? Oh, watch this. Those are the actual prep courses for. This is UCLA, of course, but you see chemical engineering. Let's say right here, the chemical. Well, let's not do that. Let's do mechanical and aerospace. So mechanical right here. You're going to need all of the math. 31A, 31B, 32A, 32B, right? And not 33B. Students mess themselves up by taking 33B because they need mechanical 82. And then there is, let's go, since it's easier to see the classes and the major, let's stick with aerospace right here. Aerospace and mechanical are basically the same. I mean, it's the same major up until the end of sophomore year. And so they're going to need all the chemistry with the lab, all the physics with labs, and then students usually take Comp Sci 31. Now at UCLA, you get admitted to the major as first day before you even get there. You're admitted to aerospace engineering, so you know your major. But UC Berkeley says once you finish all those math classes, what is that? 6 math classes, 3 chemistry classes, 5 physics classes, and a computer science, then we'll get you into the actual major, which is, that works. I mean, let's go back to the frequently asked questions. Cool. Well, changing to a high demand major after arriving at letter design. For students who did not select a high demand major on the UC Berkeley admissions application, the process for declaring a high demand major will be through a review. I guess I'm going to break that down. If it's through a review rather than a minimum GPA requirement only, students will have one opportunity to apply for a high demand major. They'll have one opportunity, that's it. And will be required to have an alternate plan. Oh, okay, but they're only plan to declare a high demand major as a backup. Oh, they have, okay, so if you're wanting to get into a high demand major, you still have to have a backup plan. That's not a high demand major, because what they're saying is it's so unlikely that you get into it that they don't want to mess your whole education up by keeping you out of it. So how UCLA goes about that is they'll go, I wish I could, can I do something so I can hold this here? Maybe I'll step away. I'm going to leave this right here. Right there. With my luck, this is going to be when people come in and see there's nobody here. All right. What I really want is why do I think somebody other than myself was using it. Nonetheless, I'm going to keep this like that. What are the letters in science high demand majors? The high demand ones are art practice, economics, operations research and management science, public health, computer science, global studies, political economy, social welfare, data science, media studies, psychology, and statistics. Why is letters in science making this change? I mean, I imagine, so there's like 2 big paragraphs right here saying why they're making this change. I imagine it's basically saying there aren't enough professors or enough space on campus. All right, let's read I'm gonna read one of them. Let's see. The policy change is designed to improve the student experience in letters and science. Most of all, most of our 80 plus majors are open to declare that major. All right. You have only to take the prerequisite courses, maintain good academic standing in the college, and file a declaration form. However, there is a small subset of high demand majors, those 12 I just mentioned, that have additional requirements to better match teaching capacity to student demand. Okay. Well, okay. Basically, they're saying to get the most, the most selective students, basically the best students. That's what they're saying without saying it. Traditionally, to declare a high demand major in letters and science, students are required to have a minimum GPA in a specific set of courses, also referred to as major prerequisites. Those students who did not meet the minimum GPA requirements must redirect focus to an alternative major midway through their career, often leading students to experience great stress and anxiety. Oh my. This new process provides peace of mind to students by ensuring that their application will be subject to the Office of Undergraduate Admissions holistic review process. Okay, so it is exactly what I thought it was. They're gonna This new process provides peace of mind to students by ensuring that their application will be subject to the Office holistic review. All right, isn't that what you've always been doing, Berkeley? If they select a high demand major and they apply, they will be guaranteed a spot in the major they selected, subject to completing the prerequisites, maintaining good academic standing, yada yada. For students who do not know that they want a high demand major when they apply as first years, they will be subject to a review after a student enrolls at Berkeley. This review includes quantitative and qualitative criteria such as academic and personal accomplishments, okay, by the student. Okay, it sounds like they're still talking about students that are applying for the first time, so not like students that are changing their major. I want to definitely get to a frequently asked question such as, what happens if you want to change your major? If they're doing all of this just to get into your major in the first place, they will be subject to review. Yep. High demand majors based on these criteria is overall a more fair. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can. I don't know if I can share this. Hopefully, there's no commercial that comes with this, but I don't have. I really want to do that. That's a great sound for that. Okay, maybe I'm having too much fun with this for a live that has 0 people in it, but it is what it is. I'm just kind of practicing for the future. All right, let's do that over here. And because I like the most interaction I get on, well, at least on YouTube, is from international students. So students that are already in the US that have been in their education on US soil since who knows when. They seem to have all the answers. And well, I'm like a very small corner of the information that's available for higher education, especially because I like to focus on like the community college transfer experience. There's so much more in higher education. Um, you know, internet. Let me stick to this, and we shall see. I said I was going to stay on here for 20 minutes, but time kind of goes fast when you. when you do what you want to be doing, which is kind of how you should look into just kind of your career, just career planning and stuff. It's like, what's going to make it where time goes fast when you're working and it's enjoyable? This would be more enjoyable if there were folks that could just ask specific questions like, oh, I'm planning to transfer to Boston College, but I'm also interested in the University of Michigan in, I don't know, cosmetic chemistry or something like that. Now that's random. Um, and I never thought of that. I mean, that's that's why it's kind of useful to even be working in the counseling setting. Yeah, I've had folks come in and say they want to build roller coasters, um, or somebody that wants to specifically work on elevators, you know, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, um, and but then that cosmetic chemistry, I was I was not prepared for a cosmetic chemistry question. Um, Cosmetic scientist and makeup chemist. You know what? Actually, at UCLA, there is. Oh, geez, what is that? I think she's probably on the main page at this point. No, not her. The Beauty and Science of AJ Ade. All right, because and I'll go on this tangent and we'll bring it right back. um, UCLA doctoral student AJ Ade launched a company that develops cosmetics for people with darker skin tones. Yeah, I kind of looked into, she's 22 years old. She's popped up on a few shows, kind of representing women and those women that have darker complexions, and that she basically mid-performance break to reapply makeup. Oh, okay. I thought she had something to do with the with the Super Bowl, but they're just referring to Rihanna at the Super Bowl. But yeah, you cosmetic chemistry. What actually goes into making cosmetics? I think some women know, probably. I'm sure some men know as well. Um, and it's like, the this is kind of having me think of a time I went to an art show. Ah, that I know what it was. It was a friend in town who was bringing pottery to an event, and there were people coming from around the U.S. And I ended up going like, nah, let's see what actually goes on at one of these kind of art fest kind of places. And there was someone there that had all a station for painting, but everything that you could paint with were all natural items. Like there was all kinds of colors. There was like some yellow, and I have the actual item that I painted out of that stuff over here somewhere, but I'm not gonna walk away again. Um, yeah, it's like there was some wine colored items. There were like yellows and oranges and greens and blues, and it's all used. It was like blueberry mixed with some, I don't know, like some algae all squished up or something like that. And it's like, okay. And she did her homework to figure out how to make that available to folks where they can paint in any color and you're not using like, oh, some synthetic, acrylic stuff, which, to be honest, I don't even know what acrylic is made of. Polymer binder, pigment, and water. I know now. I'll never say that again, I think. Polymer binder, never gonna, not after this video is over. Nope. But let's see. Let's jump right back into. Okay, so Q, frequently asked questions. That's what I want to get into about that high demand major. So what are the high demand majors? I already mentioned that. I'll say it again. Art practice, computer science, data science, economics, global studies, media studies, operations, research and management science, political economy, psychology, public health, social welfare, statistics. Does this change mean that students enrolled in a high demand major will come into college declared? The first sentence is no, period. And then there's a bunch more. Beginning fall 23, first year students who select a high demand major on their Berkeley Letters of Science application and are admitted to the college will be guaranteed a spot in that major, subject to completing the prerequisites, maintaining good academic standing in the college, and filing a declaration form. Yep, makes sense. What about students who decide later that they want a high demand major? Here, this is what I want to know. What about students who decide later, so they're already at UCLA, they're already Bears? What the heck? Berkeley. What is the mascot for Berkeley? Yeah, Bears, right? When they play Stanford, are those just the Bears? Yeah, because all UCs are basically Bears, right? UCLA are the Bruins, big old bear in the middle of campus. All right. Oh, I definitely closed what I was trying to. CAP 2023. Okay, so I guess I'm going to history because I just UCLA. I need the Berkeley stuff, academic programs, major options, change of major, first year high demand. All right. Stop clicking tabs, my guy. All right. What I wanted to know, really, why this is all even being done. Students who decide later that for students who don't already know that they want a high demand major when they apply as first years, the process for declaring a high demand major will be through a comprehensive review conducted in your sophomore year. Students will have one opportunity to apply for a high demand major. I'm going to definitely end the live broadcast. Okay, I'm still on there. All right, so what I'm going to do, I'll just hit that. No, I'm just going to broadcast details. I'm going to jump over to, I want to see what the difference is. Can I go live on Instagram? Man, I'm telling you, though, I think the last person that followed me on Instagram is AI. And I'm not sure. Or they about to try to spam me to death. I don't know. Okay. Boing. Post real live. Checking my connection. All right. Well, I was in the middle of kind of posting a live for YouTube. And then I'm like, all right, where else can I add this? And obviously, I can't do it. Um, Obviously, I can't do more than one live on my computer. I also can't do more than one live on my phone. So the last thing I was going through before I just kind of jumped into it is basically we were talking about UC Berkeley um, and UCLA, just kind of some of the differences that happen in engineering, some of the differences that happen when you want to change your major. And we're actually going through a document right now that has to do with um, high demand majors and kind of the changing policy. Um, and actually, let's see, I want to get back to this document. Let me go to CS OWASA, which is the Samuel Lee Office of Academic and Student Affairs. Um, yes, that is what it stands for. What do I need from here, though? I want change of major. I'm going to flip my video here in a moment. So, do this. All right, so this is something that we were looking at a moment ago. And really, we're going to stick with, if you can see, this says, oh my goodness, aerospace, right? Thank you, phone. I'm not going to tell you what kind of phone I have because people might change their thoughts and feelings about me. So all this math, chemistry, physics, and computer science down at the bottom. Let's say for aerospace engineering. So at UCLA, this is the process. You apply in fall. All right, you apply in fall, and by, I don't know, now, by the beginning of April, you have your decision, right? This coming week, well, yeah, I guess I could say, because I'm not giving you a specific date. Let's say before April's up, UCLA transfer students will have their decision. But see, freshmen have had their decision for like a month now. So they've already gone to Bruin Day, they've gone to like in-person events, they've gone to virtual events, they've met professors, saw what clubs were, on campus and things like that. Yeah, they're going through it. Transfer students, not so much. But the reason we're even looking at this document is because at UC Berkeley, you actually enter um, as undeclared for computer science. That's where all this stemmed from. It stemmed from some of these beginning events for computer science. Students are trying to figure out which way they're going to go. Are they going to go the UC route? And which UC? Are they going to go the private school route, CSU, a polytechnic? We have that new Humboldt out there. So which way are they going to go? And they found that there are these high demand majors that, well, let's skip all that. Let me just say this. Computer science, let's get real detailed and focused. When you get accepted as computer science, you actually enter the College of Letters and Science as undeclared until you complete all the requisite courses or prerequisites. That's what we're looking at here. These are the kinds of courses you would have to complete. And this is going to take, a freshman and sophomore year, basically. Let me turn this and then on back. All right. So you've got your, 6 math classes. Let's say that everybody has just a little bit of a different requirement. as you see, like, let's see, computer science here, there's different maths that they have to take as opposed to like bioengineering and aerospace engineering. Computer science, computer science, computer engineering, and computer science and engineering don't have to take any chemistry, right? And that's why if ever you wanted to change your major, it has to be done in a specific amount of time. Because here, let me click over here real quick. Hold on, let me click something. I want to see what that's going to do. All right. So at UCLA, you have to change your major by basically the official terminology on their website. And I'm not going to talk about when the real deadline to do it is. I'll say what's said on the website. The website says you should change your major by the fall of your junior year. So you should be finished with all your requisite courses by the end of your sophomore year. And that's because if you try to change let's say you try to change your major from computer science to mechanical engineering, junior year, now you're missing 3 chemistry classes that you need. And those chemistry classes are requisites to a lot of upper division courses you have to take as a mechanical engineer or aerospace. And so what Berkeley does is they go, you're not even in the major yet. Do the classes and then submit, what do they call it? We would call, or it'll be called a petition, right? At UCLA. What does Berkeley call it? Well, either way, I'm going to go into the real question I wanted to know out of this high demand, where basically Berkeley is saying we're going to have a lot more students applying than we have professors or space for students. Is this question: what about students who decide later that they want a high demand major? I mean, I'm just going to read it out since it's on here. For students who don't already know they want a high demand major when they apply as first years, the process for declaring a high demand major will be through a comprehensive review conducted in your sophomore year. Comprehensive review. Okay, that very much sounds like the admissions process. Excuse me. Students will have one opportunity to apply for a high demand major. One opportunity. And I read that above, that there is one opportunity for a high demand major. And they had it in bold. And I think that's very much for a reason, because this is a UC Berkeley document. Required to have a backup plan. Students will have one opportunity to apply for a high demand major during their sophomore year and are required to have a backup plan to declare a non-high demand major. So they're just saying you're not guaranteed to get in, and it's hard to get in, so you better have another plan so you don't ruin your whole outlook for your education. Last sentence of that question is: letters and science students must declare a major no later than the beginning of their junior year. Bam, same as UCLA. It's got to be by basically in the first 2 weeks of your fall as a junior. I feel like that kind of links me to something. Changing your major. Let's say, okay, I'm going to just talk about how changing your major at UCLA works. If you can be admitted as mechanical engineering, you can be admitted as computer science, aerospace, bioengineering, electrical engineering, chemical engineering. You can be admitted as undeclared. Now, if you're undeclared, you're guaranteed a spot in the engineering field, right? The campus wants you to know what you want to do, though, because guess what? After you change it once, you can't change it again. And so they want you to, there are actually classes that are like 1 unit where you can learn from industry professionals, basically professors that have been in the fields or are currently still in the field about what happens at jobs related to that major, um, the research that goes into things like the theory of it, the practical part of it, um, and also just kind of what does it look like to actually land a position after graduation. A lot of computer science students, ones that I've met with that are at kind of those that 4 year university level, um, especially in like like juniors in college right now that are CS. Um, they're looking at the market and they're basically saying, "Hey, the market is not what I want it to be to go find a job in computer science." So they go into programs. They go into programs like grad school. They're like, all right, so I didn't think of this as an you know opportunity for myself in the past, and so now I am. And actually, I might as well just add this just to let it be known. There is something, and I don't know what year it was brought into. I want to say it's between 5 and 10 years ago. I think it's closer to the 5 years. There's something called ESAP, which I did have to open because I don't know every acronym for every campus. They do have something called ESAP, ESAP, Exceptional Student Admission Program. And what that is, it's like, oh, you probably know what the tag is, like transfer agreement, right? Guarantee for transferring from a community college to UCs, not Berkeley, not UCLA, not UC San Diego, but um, nonetheless, it exists. This is a guarantee for undergraduate engineering students to move into graduate programs in the same field that they're in. So it has to be a student goes from aerospace engineering undergrad to aerospace engineering as a graduate program, or mechanical or computer science. You have to stay in the same major. Basically, you just have to have a 3.5 or higher and be planning to, finish in a spring. And it doesn't always have to happen in spring, but depending on the program you're going into, it's more useful that way because if you don't graduate in the spring, then you can't start in the fall, which a lot of the grad programs want you to do. And some will work with you and say, okay, you can start in winter, but they do tell you that's going to affect how long you're in the program. Because mechanical, for example, they have a 1 year graduate program. That's that's like no time to get, like, think of how close that is, like, for the work that you're doing. So your undergraduate career, you have to do all these like 180 plus units. And those are quarter units. Um, and then they go, all right, what would that be? Let's say you're doing um, 15 units, say a quarter. That's 45 units. It's like bam, 45 quarter units. Now, I'm uncertain if they use the summer because they could say, hey, the 1 year includes summer. So that could be 60 units, but still, you have a master's degree in that area now. Um, a lot of campuses don't have that. So that's one way to get a leg up. I probably should just jump off of here because I'm going to start a rambling or something like that. Anyhow, I'm like clicking on this screen, trying to move stuff over. What is this? Oh, good. Okay. I can't tell if I can see if people are in here or not, but it's likely it's more not. But either way, you found out a few things. I imagine this would post on my page for getting into college. Um, yeah, I guess the I'll jump on here at some point. Probably a time that's more suitable for people that want to be watching live. But I did want to kind of practice what it looks like and what it feels like to go live. And you all have a wonderful evening and weekend in that video. Computer science at UC Berkeley is something I was looking. Oh, I'm over here just, as my old football coach would say, lollygagging. Let me go ahead and end this stream. It's about to go on an hour, and I had one whole